I'm Marlise.
And I'm Elyse.
And we're
OutlandDish.
And guess where we are? We are at the Outlander panel at Comic-Con.
With seconds to spare.
We are so excited because the whole cast is going to be here. Sam and Caitriona, Diana Gabaldon,
Sophie Skelton, Rick Rankin, Tobias Menzies.
And Ron Moore, of course.
Of course, Meryl Davis.
Yes, and Meryl Davis. So we can't wait for you guys to see the panel. Let's go on inside and enjoy.
I'm going to try and keep it cool, collect myself. So without further ado, let's introduce our kind of charismatic, kind of good-looking, kind of amazing cast and producers. Starting off with the man in charge of it all, the incredible showrunner, executive producer Randall D. Moore. Our amazing executive producer, Meryl Davis. Looking gorgeous. And we're all obsessed with this one, Richard Rankin. The luminous and beautiful Sophie Skelton. And the actor who literally continues to blow my mind every single episode, Tobias Menzies. And we have the queen of it all, Diana Gabaldon. Guys, does this one even really need an intro? Let's collect ourselves. Sam Heughan. And we have the breathtakingly beautiful, magical, unbelievably talented Caitriona Balfe. Okay, Ron, let's get us started. Can you please give us an overview of what we can expect in season 3?
Not much. Well, season 3, for those of you who might have read these books, who's read the books? Yeah, well, we're not doing that. No. As you all know, this is a pivotal season for the show. This is a transitional book in a lot of ways because it takes our characters on a journey from Scotland to North America, where eventually they're going to get to Fraser's Ridge in North Carolina. But
it doesn't exist.
It does exist. Season 3, you're going to see a lot of different things. There's a lot of story about Jamie and Claire and the 20 years that they spent apart. There's a sea voyage across the Atlantic Ocean. Then we end up in the Caribbean and Jamaica and eventually the New World. So it's a pretty dynamic, interesting season that takes the characters in a long journey. That's why it's called Voyager, and ends up in a place completely different from where we started.
Oh, I'm so excited. Wait, Ron, I know you were sort of, was it challenging to film on the tall ships while you were saying you were doing the Voyager stuff?
It was challenging. It was fun though, because we were able to use the Black Sails sets down in South Africa. It's a fantastic facility they have outside of Cape Town, and they have these full-blown, tall rigged sailing ships and tanks and a complete studio facility, and we were down there for about 3 months. Yeah.
Or almost 4.
Almost 4. And it was great. I mean, it was really amazing. We used a lot of the Black Sails crew and technical advisors in addition to our own people, and I think it's a really amazing set of episodes that are set down there.
A couple of spare pirates were there as well.
Yeah, the occasional pirate drifted over. And,
There's a drinking game in that somewhere.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Spot the Black Sails.
Spot the pirates?
Spot the pirates,
Okay.
yeah.
So Meryl, you spent a lot of time on set when they're filming. What was it like moving production from Scotland to South Africa?
really hard. It's tough. I mean, we call ourselves a traveling show because there hasn't been a season yet that's the same as the previous season. And obviously transferring to South Africa was challenging, but we were up to it and the actors were so excited. And I've always said we took a part of our Scottish crew with us, and these crew members, their skin has never seen the light of day. And I've never seen so many white legs sticking out of shorts. They quickly went from white to crimson red. So we had a blast, and as Ron said, we took over the Black Sail sets and their crew, and they were amazing. And it was so fun to be out of Scotland and to be on the ships, and we just all really, really enjoyed it.
That sounds amazing. Everyone's laying out. They're like, we're not in Scotland. Let's get a tan. Okay, so Diana, I have to ask you, did you make it to set this season, and what did you think? And I also want to know if you wrote an episode.
No, I did not write an episode for this season. Having written the book, I thought that was enough. But no, I did get to go on set in South Africa, which was a lot of fun. We enjoyed it and got to see some of the filming, and then we went north and watched large animals, which was almost as much fun.
Still on set.
Tobias, so I've said this to you backstage, but I'm literally in awe of you. I think you're so incredible how you can play the two different characters. And we know that Frank is back in the picture for this season. How was that for you, getting back into that character?
Great. I mean, one of the great privileges of doing this show is that we're deep into our third, fourth year with these people, these characters, these worlds. So that's kind of a dream as an actor, to sort of just sit and have that time to explore them. I mean, we start off at season 3 and we kind of get to unpack the life of Claire and Frank in Boston, which is told in a slightly different way in the book, but we get a chance to sort of see that in real time. And and it's the writers gave us some great stuff to do. And I mean, the more I do Frank, the more I sort of, he's a surprisingly kind of complicated and interesting character, and I think are such an important sort of ingredient in the very rich mix that is this show. But,
Absolutely. Did you miss playing Blackjack?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's the really fun one, and
You'd invite him to a party.
Fun.
Yeah, he'd be great at a party. Come on,
do we see the? Of course, we're going to see between Sam and you and on the battlefield. Can you tell us anything about that scene? What that was like?
He's looking at us like, am I allowed to say anything?
I think we cut it.
You're like a little boy.
Try it,
like
guys.
his parents, Yes, we do. So we begin the season at Culloden. Still looking nervously. Why am I?
That's okay.
You can't
You're
be
gonna
fired.
get the sack.
And so yes, we see the encounter at Culloden between Jamie and Blackjack, which is
A little intense.
I think it will be surprising, actually. Maybe it's not entirely what people expect from it, which is, I think, in keeping with what we've tried to do all the way along with the relationship between those two, is sort of constantly kind of invert the cliche or like surprise the expectations with it. So, and I hope we've done the same with this.
Oh, we are excited for that. I'm very excited about that. Okay, so Richard, what was it like for you? I know, we love Richard. Richard, what was it like for you to join basically 3 seasons in? We got a little taste of you in the finale of season 2, but what was that like? How did you prepare for this character?
Well, obviously I was in the very fortunate position to have quite an extensive amount of material to go off of. So I started by reading the books, and obviously having come in at the end of season 2, we only had that episode, so there wasn't a whole lot to go on in terms of character development. So I turned to the books to read on to get a good idea of you know, the flavour of Roger and what people obviously were going to be expecting from that character. There was obviously a huge amount of anticipation for it. So yeah, you know, I read, did a good bit of reading. Obviously he's a historian, so I decided to maybe dive into that a wee bit.
Richard, are you Scottish?
No. Oh, you're giving the game away, Sam. I'm
Anyone
actually
needs
American.
subtitles?
No. No, I'm just always in character. I'm actually from the valleys. I just thought you guys would like me to be in character for the whole thing, but obviously...
That's a horrible
Sam's just
accent. I
pulled
would
my
love you
cover.
so much if you were just putting that on tonight. You're like, yeah, I'm just going to put this accent on for fun.
Yeah, no, so I mean, obviously history was is a big thing for him, being an Oxbridge assistant professor of history, so I kind of got into that a bit, travelled around, looked at a lot of the historical subjects which are touched on by Diana, and threw myself in at that angle, but yeah.
Amazing. Well, we're very, very excited. I'm trying not to like squeeze spoilers out of you every 5 seconds. But Sophie, tell me, so you, obviously same thing, came on late and in an iconic role. How did you get into character? How did you try? I mean, how was that process for you?
Same kind of thing. So I read a lot of the books, and I actually first auditioned for Brianna in 2014. And then didn't hear anything for about a year, so I thought I had got the role, and then it sort of came around again. So I'd read the books that first time round, but then luckily when the role came around again, the series had come out. So I watched season 1 on repeat to kind of get a lot of both Jamie and Claire's characteristics and just take a bit from each of them and put that into Brie. So certain things that Jamie does, like clenches his jaw or furrows his brow, and certain things that Claire does, just to kind of really make Brianna realistically the offspring of those two. But yeah, and then just went back to the books again and just sort of delved into it all that way.
So you guys read the books? That's
yeah, we're geeks.
Nice. And there was a screen test too, I'm hearing. The Twitterverse keeps telling me, ask about the screen test. Was there something that happened that was kind of crazy between, I don't know, I'm relying on Twitter here.
I actually had a couple of screen tests. Richard and I had one in Scotland, I think in like the December. And we actually did some dummy sides from season 4. So again, from reading the books, that helped because we kind of knew what that was based on. I don't know if it's particularly
Sophie was
interesting.
definitely in my top 5 Briannas.
That's good, that's good, that's good.
The others were all offered the role before, and then, you know, everyone else did. And then I had a screen test with Caitriona as well in the January, so.
Was she in the top 5 as well?
Amazing.
No, but you nailed it, so it was great.
Well, it's meant to be, and we're so happy to have you. Caitriona and Sam. Excited I am. I'm like, okay, where do I begin? All right, so both of your characters age 20 years in the course of the season, of course. Can you talk to us about how you approached that as actors and what that means for your characters as you're moving forward?
They age very well.
Yeah, you guys age very well, by the way.
In fact, with younger.
Didn't we just go method and just get old?
I think we
did.
It's all that whiskey drinking.
Yeah. You know, I think, you know, obviously there was a little bit at the end of season 2 about, well, Claire had sort of, we'd already seen her in the 60s, but when we come to season 3, you're going to see a lot of that progression. It starts with a little bit in the 40s, some 50s, 60s, and I think it was just trying to figure out what her life was like and figure out what the day-to-day is, because we really only see little vignettes of different times, and you have to try and build that whole lifetime to give it all as much you know, as much weight as possible. But, you know, we have an incredible hair and makeup team. We had some good wigs. Some of it was my own, there was a lot of hairspray.
Your beard wig is particularly
My beard wig was awesome. But yeah, you know, it was one of the interesting challenges about this season. It was really interesting to try and figure out how does time weigh on a person? What changes about you? What do you retain? How does tragedy weigh on you? How do you live with grief? How do you forge forward in a new life? So all of those things were really there were interesting challenges to come to as an actor.
Absolutely. Sam, for you too?
Yeah, I think, you know, we have been very fortunate to get to know these characters over 2 seasons. It feels like such a long time ago that we started. I was on the plane yesterday coming here, and there was a woman watching season 1, episode 2, and I was the boy Thomas with the ear, and I was like, oh, it just feels like such a long time ago, and actually a different person. And you know, we've come so far, and so this season really we got to really sort of stretch the character and go somewhere else with them, and you know who they are after 20 years apart, and that aging process. And I think it was more about the experiences rather than the aging. You know, it's more about what happens to them, and certainly for both of our characters, you know, a lot happens.
And I know everyone will murder me if I don't ask you about this print shop scene.
As Ron said, it didn't make the cut.
So excited about it. You're like, I have no idea what scene you're talking about. Just tell me quickly, I mean, what was that experience? I mean, there's so much they have to bring into that one moment. Did you find that challenging? Did it come off easier than you thought?
Challenging.
Well, I think, you know, first of all, we had a great script from Matt B. Roberts, you know, I think that with any of these moments, you know that they're big fan moments. You know that they're big pivotal points in the scene. So in a way, you almost, it's this tug of war, because you don't want to give it more credence than you ever give anything else, because every scene's important. And so you just want to approach it as you would approach everything else. But obviously, it's a huge moment for for Claire and for Jamie to sort of find each other again. I mean, that's the big thing, you know.
Yeah, we were apart for a lot of this season. Not to give away too much, but we're apart, and so the characters have their own lives, and ultimately go through, you know, all the sort of emotions of grief and acceptance, ultimately, of losing someone that they love, and then for that person to come back into your life, it was, you know...
It'd almost knock a man out.
It would almost make a man faint. Rather gracefully.
Yeah, a little hotter, like a gazelle.
Well, we literally cannot wait for this scene. It is, we're all excited. So, okay, I have a fun little game.
Oh, yes.
Kind of fun, you know, just, of course I had to come with a little fun game. So, I was on the plane the other day and it came into my head. It's called Truth or Dance. I know, very fun, very, very funny. There was an overwhelming amount. You're cringing already. There was an overwhelming amount of people asking me, like, can they dance? Can we get them moving and all? So here's the deal. I'm going to ask some hard-hitting questions, if you will, and you either answer the question.
And then do you dance?
I'll dance with you, yes. Did I answer that too fast?
Your husband here?
Chan, no?
I think her husband is a lot bigger than you, by the way.
He's okay with that.
I don't know.
He gets it. By the way, he watches the show. He'd be like, yes, please dance with him.
I'll dance with Channing Tatum. I mean,
so truth or dance. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys a question. You either answer the question, and if you don't, you got to get up and do your favorite dance move. Whatever it is. Something. Who wants to start? I'm going to start, I think Caitriona. I'll start with you.
This is a really bad idea, Jenna. This is a really bad.
Yeah, I've seen Caitriona dance.
Normally we don't dance unless we've had a lot of whiskey.
I know. I was not allowed to. I brought whiskey. I was not allowed to bring it today, so yeah, we're gonna pretend. You're like, I know. Comic-Con. It was not my fault. So Caitriona, okay, listen. You have to pick only one to do a kissing scene with. Do you pick Sam or Tobias? You guys all liked me 2 minutes ago. I'm so sorry.
I think I have to.
Dance. I'll dance. I'll do it with you.
That's 3 horrible options. Oh God, are you gonna have to dance?
Yeah! Do we have some music? Is there any music?
Do you have any music? Do you have
There's
any
any
music?
music?
Wait, guys, we should clap.
Yeah. Yes.
That was amazing. Thank Sam, when and where was your last date night?
Dance, boy, dance.
This is a Scottish dance. It's called the Gay Gordons. Just follow my lead, Jenna. I don't know who Gordon is.
I know. It's cool. It's cool. Thank you for that.
Why
Thank you
so
for
gay?
that memory right there. Okay, Tobias, who is the best tennis player of the cast and who would win in a tennis match with you?
I didn't hear the question. You have to repeat it.
Who is the best tennis player of the cast?
See, this is really difficult to answer because the truthful answer makes me look very arrogant. But I don't like to lie to people. So yeah, I mean, I would beat them all really badly.
Yeah, all right. I believe that, by the way. Sophie?
Yep.
How was it going through the Stones this season?
That's a trick question. I didn't know what to dance, aren't I?
But Sophie, you were a dancer, right? So we could do a little pretend contemporary dance.
Why did you go to the Stones?
Dance.
Dance, monkey. All right, well, you can do it with me.
Should be a...
All hate me right now. All right, Richard, you are stuck in an elevator with only one cast member. Who would you pick?
Think very, very carefully.
Come on, Rick. You know it, Rick. Come on.
It's Rick.
Rick.
Be smart and think who you have to act with.
Rick.
I cannot
One.
face the wrath of Caitriona as much as I want to say Sam, so you can.
Have you been practicing, Richard?
First of all, you can really waltz.
We can do
Secondly,
a new episode, Ron, with like...
dance scenes right into the next season. You guys are all incredible dancers. That was amazing. Thank you for indulging me and doing that fun game. Thank you. Okay, we're running out of time, but I want to make sure we get to the audience Q&A. So where are they? Where's everybody? Middle. Okay, I can't see anything.
There's no one there.
There's no
No one wants
questions.
to speak to me.
Anyone want to ask a question?
Oh, they're running, no worries.
Oh, here we go.
Wow. What?
That's Claire's other Parisian outfit.
You've spoken of aging in vignettes. I want to know if did you plot out like a character arc and say, okay, this scene happens along this point in the arc, or did you just kind of go with whatever emotion was going on in the scene? For any of the three who have had to go through the process.
I mean, I think there's a general arc that you want to follow, but it's, I don't think you can ever be so hard and fast and like map things out so absolutely. I think within acting you always have to leave room for play and leave room for things to happen organically.
But definitely, you know, Tobias and I, especially with Claire and Frank, we talked a lot about how two people can coexist over 20 years without killing each other if they're not really in love with each other, or, you know, where does that love lie, and, you know, what are the gray areas? So, yeah, I think it was a lot of just figuring out those things. Yeah?
Yeah!
Features very heavily in this season.
He does the voice of a certain...
He's aged very well.
Nut.
Oh my
Thank
goodness.
you for coming.
Oh, well, no, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
He should absolutely have to dance, though.
Oh, yeah.
Jenna, he has the most amazing dance.
You have a good dance? Filming, because if you don't, you need to. This is going to be the best cast in the world to go dancing with. Okay, sorry. Next question. That was the greatest thing ever. Hello, my name is Rachel Green. I can take any of your coffee orders if you would like. I'm wearing a necklace from the battlefield, the Culloden battlefield in Scotland, and it made me think this question is mainly for Tobias and Sam, knowing that, you know, you're filming these scenes in situations that actually happened where thousands of people died, how it affected your acting choices. And Sam, somehow by the grace of God, if you sign this afterwards, I will break up with Ross Geller so fast and wear this for the rest of my life.
Oh wow. You got to sign that.
I don't know who this poor guy, Ross.
I think you should break up with Ross anyways.
Yeah. Is Ross,
you will.
Ross here?
Spoiler alert.
Is Ross here?
Oh.
No.
You guys, how did it inflame, knowing the history of Battle of Culloden and all the people that lost their lives, how that influenced you as an actor?
Yeah,
yes, I think, you know, obviously as a Scot, and I think everyone that worked on the show is very aware of the battle, and we've talked about it for 2 seasons. It's time to show it. And but no, everyone was really excited to film this part of the show, and even our extras and sort of the reenactors who all should be thanked, you know, Clan Randall. Everyone really was excited to do it, and I think when you finally get to see the episode after this huge Outlander, you're going to be really, really rewarded. It's quite epic.
Yeah, I mean, the whole history of the show is such a massive part of the story we tell. It's such a rich kind of soil that we kind of grow the whole thing out of. I mean, I absolutely love that part of the job that we do, you know, because that Jacobite history is phenomenal. Not that well known. So. And you know, shooting in these places, I mean, it makes our job incredibly easy because you just sort of feel it's not hard to get sort of excited and a bit goosebumpy about those things. So yeah, it's a great, a very privileged bit of the job that we do.
Next question.
Hello, I'm Raquel.
Hi.
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 I love your t-shirt.
Thank you.
Hi, and hello to all my peepers.
Diana, you are a genius. Yeah, you've written a beautiful piece of work, and this, it's just been beautifully adapted. When I first heard it was going to be adapted, I thought, no way, but they have surpassed our expectations. My question is for Tobias. I think you're an awesome actor. First fell in love with your work in Persuasion. Yeah. I just wanted to know how you approach the duality of the roles that you play. You keep the family lineage there, it's obvious, but you know, the difference is there also. How do you bring that to the screen?
Thank you for your question. And how do we do it? I think it's a mixture of kind of like lots of homework and then a bit of just sort of following your instinct with it a bit. I mean, I do remember when I first started talking to Ron about the project and the idea of obviously playing two different people in a TV show, which is essentially a sort of a theatrical gesture, really. It's quite unusual for TV. I was sort of keen not to be kind of confident in the storytelling and not make them that different in terms of their physicality and their kind of not to put a mustache on for one and a patch for the other, just to make it really clear or something. And obviously that's a harder thing to do, to try and kind of that they kind of emanate a different atmosphere, the two different people, and that's just a bit of just doing as much work as you can and then hoping for the best of it. And it's also, I mean, a lot of credit goes to Diana for having written two people who are obviously related but very different, and the sort of to Ron and his group of writers, it's really a group effort. It's also about the use of camera and lighting and costume and all those things go to sort of give a sort of a subtle but very distinctive kind of feel about these two different men, and yeah.
Seemed to be a look in your eyes too. There was something that was I noticed between the two characters. I don't know if you meant to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a softness.
Yeah, that's really exciting to hear. I mean, that's absolutely what I wanted to try and do, but you never know what's going to kind of work. And obviously that's, you just kind of, hope that's a different view.
Beautifully done.
Thank
Beautifully
you very
done.
much.
Okay, we're out of time, sadly. But I think we should watch maybe the trailer for season 3 one more time to get really excited. Right?
No, we've seen it already.
You know what? I don't want to watch. I personally don't want to see the trailer again. You know what I want to see? I want to see the first episode.
So you just came from the Outlander panel and episode. Tell us what you thought. Did you know it was going to be shown?
No, oh my God. When they announced that they were going to show us the episode, I started crying. It was so overwhelming. It was awesome that Starz let them come and show us this amazing episode that's going to knock fans off their feet. That doesn't come out until September 10th, so now I have to wait a long time to watch it again. But you'll laugh, you'll cry. I cried, I laughed.
The episode was amazing. They surprised us with showing the entire first episode of 3rd season.
So does that make you excited to see the rest of it? Of course.
Of course. Well, I started reading the books from the first one back in the 90s, so yes.
It was a wonderful, wonderful surprise for all of the fans who have been here. I think it's I want more. Let's just put it that way. It's enough to whet your appetite, enough to cure Outlander for a short while. I can't wait till September.
I really liked it because, of course, I've read the book, so it looks like the preview, it's following the books. Of course, we didn't get to know what happened with Claire and Frank, so this is kind of an insight for us.
It was great. I mean, everybody was screaming and hollering and clapping. It was really exciting, so.
Does this make you want to see the rest of the season right away?
Yes, and I feel really bad for all my friends that want to know what was going on, because
You're not going to tell them?
No, I'm not.
We just saw episode 1.
God, they showed the first episode.
Season 3, episode 1.
No, but you know what? Someone had tipped us off. Someone had said this panel is scheduled for an hour and a half. They didn't know how they were going to fill it, and they wondered if they were going to show us the episode, and they did.
They did, and there was a collective scream and a gasp, and
it was so cool. And when I heard the music, I started crying.
I did too.
I got all teary-eyed. Crying, because you think, okay, it's been so long that, you know, we're not affected. But then you hear the music and you think, oh my God. And it was everything that we hoped for.
I screamed, I gasped, I cried.
Yes.
And that's episode 1.
That's episode 1. There's so much that happens in the first episode, you guys.
We can't spoil it, but you're going to love it.
You're going to absolutely love it. It lives up to everything. The wait was worth it. Outlander is over. This was an amazing Outlander Comic-Con event. We are so excited that we were able to bring it to you.
Yeah, and I think all the fans were smiling as they left.
They were. You heard their comments. They absolutely loved it. So anyway, once again, I'm Marlise.
And I'm Elyse.
And we're
Outlandish.